testifies. Christine Blasey-Ford emerges to make us all sick all over again. Meghan Markle wants to be president. Epstein's pilot ain't talking, and robots taking over the sky. Welcome back to the Daily Facts. Let's get right into it. All right, so Comey says he has not read recent report about Steele dossier source, but will testify about it next week. Comey is, okay, I did a piece on him right here. And, basically the host is asking him if he is a target of the Durham investigation. And in his own words, he says, I can't imagine I'm a target. And then in the exact same breath, he says, given I know so much about, the case, I'm paraphrasing there. Check it out if you're interested. But let's get back to the article and take a look at what the Daily Caller is talking about here. All right, so former FBI Director James Comey said Friday that he has not read explosive new reports showing that the primary source for dossier author Christopher Steele was the target of an FBI counterintelligence investigation. Now, considering that James Comey was the FBI director and this was such a huge investigation, he's probably, I'm guessing he's going to say, I didn't have any knowledge. That was lower level. We all know that that's just simply not true. There's just no way. There's just no way. So anyway, Comey said during an interview on CNN that he plans to read the documents and will answer questions about it when he testifies before the Senate Judiciary Committee on September 30th. I haven't read what they put out. I'll read it before I testify next week, and I'll answer whatever questions they have, Comey said. No, you won't answer them. You'll just act like you don't remember. You're good at that. But then you're stupid because later on you'll say, oh, but when they told me this and when I knew about that, because that's just how your brain works. You say you don't know something and then you release what you know. You say what you know in a sentence later. It's kind of like when you came out and talked about all of those emails that Hillary Clinton had on that server or servers. And then in the same breath, you said no reasonable prosecutor would prosecute, something to that effect. I mean, you're just always stumbling over your own words. Anyway, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham released an FBI memo on Thursday that showed the Bureau investigated Steele's source, Igor Danchenko, between 2009 and 2011. The Bureau began the process of pursuing a Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act warrant, FISA, the FISA court, against Danchenko in 2010, but tabled the effort after he left the country. Graham called the revelation stunning, noting that the FBI relied heavily on information from Steele's dossier to obtain warrants to surveil former Trump aide Carter Page. We all know how that went. It went south quick. The FBI's Crossfire Hurricane team learned the identity of Steele's source in December 2016 and also found Bureau case files showing the earlier investigation of Danchenko. Graham said that the FBI did not inform the FISA court of the information about Danchenko. So it's just more hiding. It's just more hiding. I mean, we'll find out soon enough what's happening here. It's unfolding before our eyes. The dossier's most explosive claims have been either debunked or remain uncorroborated. The special counsel's report and a Justice Department Inspector General's report said that the dossier's claim that former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen visited Prague in August 2016 to meet Kremlin insiders was inaccurate. Speaking of the Inspector General's report, I read through that here, so it's pretty fascinating. I'm going through the executive summary if you want to check it out. It's historical, which is why I decided to do it. Some people might say, well, that's old. Well, no, it's not actually. You can come back at any time and you will be able to hear what was in that executive summary related to the FISA and the FBI Crossfire Hurricane investigation. It's fascinating stuff. During the interview, Danchenko undercut several aspects of the dossier and said Steele overstated several claims in the document. Danchenko told the FBI that his source for the Cohen allegation also fed him information about Page that the FBI used in its FISA applications. The FBI memo about the prior investigation of Danchenko said that he had contact with two known Russian intelligence officers in 2005 and 2006. According to the memo, the FBI opened its investigation after receiving a tip from one of Danchenko's colleagues that he had suggested that employees of a think tank who were poised to join the Obama administration could use their security clearances to make some money. Again, Comey's going to come out and pretty much plead the fifth, or I don't remember, or that was beneath me. I was working on other important things, right? Something more important than trying to remove the president from office. More important than that. Whatever. All right, this is a mug that nobody's really interested in seeing, but I was fascinated by this whole thing. Okay, so this was this day in history on September 27th. Christine Blasey-Ford testifies about an alleged sexual assault by Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, accusations he denies, and it's nonsense. Let's listen to a little bit of that. I know her voice is nauseating because she talks like a little girl. Let's listen to it. It's sickening, but let's listen.
I am here today not because I want to be. I am terrified. I am here because I believe it is my civic duty to tell you what happened to me while Brett Kavanaugh and I were in high school. I have described the events publicly before. I summarized them in my letter to Ranking Member Feinstein and again in a letter to Chairman Grassley. I understand and appreciate the importance of your hearing from me directly about what happened to me and the impact that it has had on my life and on my family.
All right, so that should, refresh your memory on this idiot here. So yeah, 2018, during a day-long hearing by the Senate Judiciary Committee, Christine Blasey-Ford says she is 100% certain that she was sexually assaulted by Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh when they were teenagers. Kavanaugh then tells senators that he is 100% certain he had done no such thing. Exactly. I mean, think about this line here, 100% certain. I mean, does that even make sense? That you're 100% certain. I mean, why do you even need to say that? I mean, there's other things that are pretty fascinating that happened on this day, but she's the one that stood out. And remember uh, this person?
For my first months at the EEOC, where I continued to be an assistant to Judge Thomas, there were no sexual conversations or overtures. However, during the fall and winter of 1982, these began again. The comments were random and ranged from pressing me about why I didn't go out with him to remarks about my personal appearance. I remember his saying that someday I would have to tell him the real reason that I wouldn't go out with him. He commented on what I was wearing in terms of whether it made me more or less sexually attractive. The incidents occurred in his inner office at the EEOC. One of the oddest episodes I remember was an occasion in which Thomas was drinking a Coke in his office. He got up from the table at which we were working, went over to his desk to get the Coke, looked at the can and asked, "Who has put pubic hair on my Coke?"
Yeah, that was Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas's accuser.
These people are crazy. They're crazy.
Yeah, they're nuts. They're nuts. And you notice that they're always on the Democrat side. You don't see Republicans pulling stunts like this. It's fake. It's theater. It's lies. It's deceit. And in my humble opinion, something needs to be done. This should not be permitted. Anyway, that's what happened in history. Just stupid. Just women acting badly. All right. Page 6 has an article on Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle reportedly has serious ambitions to run for president. Okay, Meghan Markle harbors serious ambitions to run for president of the United States, according to a report. I don't know, doesn't she? I would imagine she has dual citizenship, right? I mean, she's married to Prince Harry. I don't know. Let's keep going. After the Duchess of Sussex and husband Prince Harry dumped royal duties with their historic Megxit, this year, the 39-year-old former suit star now has her eye on the White House, a close friend told Vanity Fair. Well, I wonder who that close friend is. One of the reasons she was so keen not to give up her American citizenship was so she had the option to go into politics, the unidentified friend told the magazine. I bet you she's the unidentified friend. I think if Meghan and Harry ever gave up their titles, she would seriously consider running for president. Her biographer, Omid Scobie, also previously claimed that the former actress has her eyes set on the U.S. presidency. Meghan is the embodiment of the American dream. One day we may see Meghan become president. The author of Finding Freedom, Harry, Meghan, and the Making of a Modern Royal Family, previously told a documentary, Vanity Fair said. She's allowed to, you know, want to become president. People are allowed to do that. People are allowed to run for president. I mean, it doesn't mean that they'll make a good one, but nevertheless, they're allowed. Hmm, we'll see. I think she needs to focus on her husband and that little baby. I think his name is Archie. You need to go and focus on family instead of, now, oh, is it a checklist? Okay, I've had Archie. I married, I suckered the prince, Harry, to marry me, check. Okay, I tricked him again and had Archie, or whatever the baby's name is, check. Now I want to quickly move on to talking about becoming president. Well, why don't you spend time with your husband and the baby? No, because your ambitions run too high. Whatever. We'll see what happens. Probably a whole bunch of nothing. Okay, the Jeffrey Epstein story is just never ending. I mean, we could be here 20 years from now talking about different parts of the Jeffrey Epstein and things that have recently emerged. All right, so this is coming from the U.S. Sun. His squeeze, stunning model pilot who helped Jeffrey Epstein groom victims and romped with teen girls while he watched. Former model Nadia Marcinkova, who now runs her own aviation company, was said to have been the shamed financier's former squeeze and one of his recruiters. Okay, just real quick, I walked through the Jeffrey Epstein, and there's a lot of people that don't have names in his latest indictment. Person 1 and 2, something to that effect. She's probably one of those that are included in here because there were a lot of people helping him. It was not just Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. It wasn't the Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell show. It was a whole lot of other people involved. And she's just one more. All right, so that's her in her pilot's uniform. She is reportedly being investigated over Epstein's twisted sex life. Okay, so they're investigating her, as they should. Yeah. So she's 34 years old and one of 4 women now reportedly being investigated over their alleged role in Epstein's sex trafficking ring. So, they were, look at them. You're out on a stroll. I wonder what they're thinking about here. Just, yeah. All right, so she was age 19 when she was pictured with Epstein. I'm not sure which picture they're referring to. She doesn't look 19 there, but at any rate, it's an ongoing saga for Jeffrey Epstein. And these people that are in that indictment are being investigated. And that's the long and short of it. He might be dead, but his story lives on. All right, this last story, I'm fascinated by drones and technology and artificial intelligence and all of that stuff. I did a piece a while back on um, Elon Musk, and he has a this device that can be implanted into the brain. It's called Neuralink. And let me see if I can locate it because to me it is just fascinating. Okay, it's this one here. Kenosha police foil rioters, plan 74 federal charges, so on and so forth. It's this piece here, and you can see it says Neuralink, and there's Elon, and he's next to the robot that actually does the surgery. And it's just fascinating. They've implanted it on a couple of pigs because, pigs are supposed to be very intelligent and, similar to, I guess, humans in certain ways. And I mean, you don't have to have anesthesia and all of that good stuff. So, at any rate, I somewhat digress. So, this is from Forbes. From sci-fi to everyday business, welcome to the age of the robot. Oh, speaking of which, I also did a piece on, here it is. It's where the Jetsons foretelling the future of grocery shopping, and it's pretty fascinating. This is about Amazon and their carts and how there won't be people checking you out and this, that, and the other. But Amazon already has that, and I've personally used it, and it works very well. So let's get into the story. While drones and robots may have once evoked a sense of fantasy in science fiction, i.e., the Jetsons, which was back in the early 60s. So it's been around, robots and automation and all of that. That's been around probably even before the Jetsons, right? Um, these devices may be starting to prove their potential as major contributors to business and everyday life. And today, the widespread effort to limit human contact, due to what's going on, right? As robots are deployed for a variety of public safety uses, from assisting doctors and delivering supplies to sterilizing public spaces. You know what? Robots are going to start performing surgeries. They're just going to do everything. Their precision is, I mean, doctors are going to be a thing of the past. You wait and see. According to the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, industrial robots, or devices programmed to conduct repetitive manufacturing tasks, have been around for almost 60 years. However, it wasn't until the more sophisticated use of artificial intelligence that modern robots acquired more advanced capabilities like navigating unpredictable obstacles and autonomous decision making. So, today, drones are used for photography, security surveillance, weather, and environmental monitoring, as reported by CB Insights. We're also seeing robots fill more sophisticated roles in factories and assisting in homes and offices. Right. So, here's some of the bullets that they point out, because I'm not going to read all of this. Safer deliveries with less human contact. We know Amazon is all about that, right? Greater freedom for the homebound. So high functioning robots available 24/7 could help homebound individuals with a variety of jobs like cleaning or opening doors. From a medical perspective, they could test vital signs, dispense medication. You get the idea. Next, taking disease prevention to the streets. Sanitation robots, those specifically adapted for cleaning and disinfecting public spaces, aren't novel, right? But hey, today devices use either ultraviolet UV light or disinfectant sprays to sterilize surfaces. A robot workforce to boost safety, looking toward an automated future. It's possible that the era of the robot is arriving, and with much less fuss than we might have expected. Autonomous helpers, augmented by 5G connectivity, are already starting to transform and protect our lives in ways that even science fiction couldn't have predicted. And so, yeah, I mean, autonomous things have been around forever. I mean, think about the ATM machine. That's been around forever, right? That's a teller isn't dispensing money. A machine is, i.e., a robot, an automated robot, something that's doing something that a human would do. Now we still have tellers, but eventually that's going to be gone because now it's becoming more intelligent. Robots are becoming far more intelligent. There's a focus on their intelligence. So it's interesting times. Whether you like it or not, robots are going to be the future, and they're going to take a lot of jobs. So you might want to consider finding something, doing your research and finding a job where a robot just isn't going to fit in, because they're not going to be able to do everything. All right, that's it. Thank you for stopping by the Daily Facts. Do like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below. We'll talk again soon. Bye.